Are you looking at going to the Japanese Grand Prix in the near future? Hi, my name is Lauren, and this is my new series called Road to Suzuka, where I'm going to be talking about what I learned about actually going to the Japanese Grand Prix for the first time. Whilst I've spent a lot of time in Japan, this is basically a new experience for me, and I thought I would actually share what I learned with you guys, so then you guys can actually have a great experience at actually going to the Japanese Grand Prix. And this week's episode is going to be about where to actually stay in Japan for the Japanese Grand Prix. While staying as close to the track as possible is ideal. In this case, because the Suzuka circuit is in a very regional area with a lot of small towns dotted around, it may not be as easy as trying to actually find accommodation in one of the new towns to be as close as possible to the circuit. If you want to do this is something you really actually need to plan in advance and actually do your homework to actually make sure that you actually are getting a place of accommodation, whether it's in the Suzuka town itself or somewhere nearby in one of the other towns. But this is something that you really have to do your homework on. And this is where I'm going to actually say that your best bet would be actually to stay in a major city, and the closest major city is about an hour away, which is actually Nagoya. Now this is actually the closest city to Suzuka, and this is where you'll find a lot of fans will be staying, as well as a lot of people involved with the Grand Prix will be staying as well, if they're not actually staying closer to the track. Now if you are actually thinking about staying somewhere like Kyoto or Osaka, the thing is that you will need to actually add more travel time onto that. You're going from Kyoto, it'll take approximately another 35-40 minutes to get from Kyoto to Nagoya on the Shinkansen, and if you are planning on actually going on the Shinkansen from Osaka to Nagoya, it'll approximately take another hour of extra travel time to get to Nagoya. Now, to get from Nagoya to Suzuka will vary depending on what train you do actually catch, but it is approximately about a 45 to 55 minute ride on the train. But the only thing right now is, especially now since the time of recording and since I've decided to actually go to the Japanese Grand Prix, like I've said about other Grand Prix around the world, whether it be Australia or Singapore, is that the prices for accommodation tend to rise around about the time of the Grand Prix. And this is no exception for Nagoya. And my best recommendation is to take a free cancellation policy with any hotel if you possibly can. If possible, try and book it around about the same time that the dates are released for next year's calendar, if possible. One of the best popular budget hotel options is APO hotels. Just be aware that the owners actually do have some controversial political ties, so if you don't want to book there are plenty of options that you can actually book with. There are obviously the well-known Western brand names that you may be aware of, like Travelodge for example, or if you do actually want to spend a little bit more, there are other hotel chains that are very well known that you may be aware of as well. But one thing I will actually recommend to you is that the closer you are to Nagoya Station, the more expensive it gets. My pro tip for you is that find a hotel that is very close to a subway station that can connect to Nagoya Station, and you'll have no issues with getting to the Suzuka track from there. Another pro tip is that if your hotel actually offers a free breakfast on top of your place of accommodation, take it up. Sure, the food at the track is actually quite reasonably priced and pretty decent, and this goes for a lot of sporting events around Japan, but having a decent breakfast in the morning will actually save you a lot of time and also a lot of money before actually a full day at the Grand Prix. Also, smoking rooms are still actually a thing in Japan at a lot of places of accommodation. So if you are very sensitive to cigarette smoke, the best thing to do is actually double check and make sure that you do not actually have a smoking room, or contact your place of accommodation to confirm if the room that they're going to actually offer you is a smoking room or not. If you are on a really tight budget, capsule hotels will most likely be something that would be in play here, and they are actually a really great low-cost option. I do understand they're a little bit claustrophobic, but coming from my own experience of actually practically living in one, I do want to actually say that you'll get daily free towels, free toiletries and clean sheets every day. From experience, my personal recommendation is the 9 Hours hotel chain. I've stayed there numerous times and they're really, really good with customer service as well as the product that they actually are selling you. But the only catch is that you can't book anything more than 3 months in advance, so you've got to wait until 3 months before the Grand Prix before you can can actually book. So whether or not you are looking for comfort, you're looking just for somewhere to hang your hat, or you're just looking for somewhere easy, or you are actually looking for luxury, there's a lot of places that you can actually take. However, my personal recommendation is to stay in Nagoya, and so long as you actually are near a subway station that connects to Nagoya Station, you'll have no problems with getting to Suzuka. See you guys at the Japanese Grand Prix. Peace out, guys.